Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali, right here on Synergy Network from 7 to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday. So at the start of tonight, viewers, the Election and Boundaries Commission have completed the 2 recounts of vote called for by the PNM in the Tobago House of Assembly election on Tuesday. On Wednesday, the EBC reported that the final count showed that the TPP has retained victory, thereby sealing their 15-seat win in the THA polls. The recount called was made by the political leader of the People's National Movement Tobago Council, Ansel Dennis, who sought clarification of the Darrell Spring Wim and the Scarborough MT Grace electoral district. Meanwhile, in accepting the loss, opposition leader Penelope Beckles stated that she wants to conduct a post-mortem to assess a way forward in Tobago. Listen to this, viewers.
I just want to remind you that we were there at 12-0. Yes, so that we respect that there is an existing constitution, there's an existing arrangement that allows for that, but it does not mean that there are not mechanisms where you can ensure that there are checks and balances.
So viewers, imagine this now, 15 seats, you know. 15 seats they get curtailed, you know. It goes to show that how Tobago wants nothing to do with the PNM anymore. Even though they might get some votes, it's like the 15-0, I believe. That is what you call curtail. But nevertheless, I could just bring the truth to you. You all have to digest it and deal with it. Switching gears, the Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation wishes to address information circulating on social media regarding an alleged $10,000 fine imposed on persons under the age of 25 for failing to complete a defensive driving course as condition for obtaining a motor vehicle insurance. Now, at this time, there is no previous or provision under the laws of Trinidad and Tobago, including the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act or its legislation that requires person under the age of 25 years to complete a defensive driving course as mandatory conditions for obtaining or maintaining motor vehicle insurance. So Trinidad and Tobago, this is fake news. This is fake news. Remember that? You're getting it from Real Talk with Saieed Ali, where news are real. And the issues that we deal with is at hand, present, and is in demand of solution. Remember that. From July 2025 to present, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has seized over 200 firearms and over 4,000 rounds of ammunition under the ongoing state of emergency, a step further ensuring a safer Trinidad and Tobago. The figures were announced by the Minister of Homeland. The announcement was made by the Minister of Land and Legal Affairs, Saddam Hussein, at a press conference on Wednesday. Listen to this.
We have discovered 292 firearms of various assortment, 71 revolvers, 144 pistols, 45 shotguns, 29 rifles and 3 air rifles. And the number of ammunition that was found and seized would have been 4,341 rounds of ammunition. So we are seeing that we are taking the guns and the ammunition off the streets of Trinidad and Tobago.
So Trinidad and Tobago, into our current affairs segment. 15 elected members have been sworn in as assemblymen in the 13th inauguration ceremony of the Tobago House of Assembly on Thursday today, which was overseen by President Christine Kangaloo. In her address, President Kangaloo said, a mandate that results in no opposing voice needs great care and maturity, and call on a newly elected THAs to be aware of the guardrails that exist and avoid being bullied in governance. Her Excellency noted, however, that she is confident the risk of this is not higher for the new Tobago administration. Trinidad and Tobago, 15 of them sworn in.
One of the reasons why I believe the risk is not high is that civil organizations in Tobago have stepped forward to give the assurance that in the absence of an opposing voice in the Assembly, they intend to use theirs to help keep the Assembly accountable. My advice to members is to listen to their voices. But most of all, the risk is not high because this is no ordinary Assembly. This is the Tobago House of Assembly.
The absence of an opposing voice in the Assembly is not usually a cause for alarm, but a mandate that calls upon the Assembly members. The President further commented on the Council for political behaviors, identification of several breach during the election campaign. One more time, listen to this.
They included the use of inappropriate language, race baiting, and defacement of political banners and paraphernalia. Now that the election is over, this Assembly has before it a wide open political field upon which to write its story, and along with it, the story of the people of Tobago. Let it be a better story than that reported by the CRPB. Let it be a story that, in generations to come, we will all be proud to tell.
So, Assemblymen, what is your plan for the Tobago House of Assembly? What do you plan to do? I wish that each member, the 15 that was sworn in, could come out and say what they want to do for Tobago. Because Tobago have spoken, they have given the TPP a second term in office. So now, what changes are you willing to give to the citizens of Tobago to make their life better henceforth? Now, as she wished the best of luck to the newly elected Assembly, she urged for Tobago to step outside of its Twin Island shadow. Listen to this.
Let the story of this Assembly be the story of inspired leadership, by which Tobago took its bigger sister's hand and led Trinidad away from the danger of devolving into a society fractured by mistrust, hostility, and division. Let it be a story in which this Assembly led the people of Tobago into a revitalized respect for and adherence to traditional guardrails. Added to them those in the Tobago House of Assembly Act and the Constitution, including its conventions, and created for the whole of Tobago and displayed to all of Trinidad a golden era of governance guided by shared principles, restrained by virtue, and strengthened by trust.
So like she said, viewers, the election has finished. The name calling, the bacchanal, the who want to be party in power, all the race talk, the slangs, it has come to an end. 15 individuals have sworn in. We want to hear what is their plan. Tobago people want to know what is your plan. How do you plan to take us forward? What do you want to do in Tobago? How much is it going to cost? So Trinidad and Tobago, hopefully in the coming days, since this is their second term in office, hopefully in the coming days, Trinidad and Tobago will know what is the plans of the THA going forward. Now, Tobago has seen some changes thus far. Not much. I mean, we have Tobago ministers saying that nobody lives there. So I don't know if people will actually start living there now. in Tobago. Tobago have some nice roads. Some of the roads better than Trinidad. But they have a lot of tourist attraction. And if they could press tourist attraction to go forward, let me tell you something. A lot of boats will come to Tobago. A lot of visitors, a lot of tourists, especially from Germany. The Germans love visiting Tobago. Blue water, sand on the beach. They love the Tobago. But what does Tobago need? A boost. That is what they need, a boost. So I believe that the Minister of Tourism under the UNC government could have some talks, serious talks, with stakeholders, business partners, and get Tobago booming with tourists. Because more or less that is the only thing they have to sell in Tobago, Trinidad, in order for it to make money. Now remember, Tobago wants to go on its own. So they had to have that finance, that stability, that growth, that forwardness, that output, that they could actually grab tourism in Tobago and let Tobago start functioning on its own. Hopefully, viewers, in the coming weeks, we want to hear what they have to say, what are their plans, how they plan on going forward, how they plan on making Tobagonians' life better, the turnaround in the economy for Tobago, maybe cheaper food, better roads, better living conditions. About 50 to 70,000 people in the island of Tobago. And let's just hope that they could have a successful Tobago life. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we want to hear what the PM vows to work together with the THA. Let's hear of some of the things that the PM planned to help Tobago with when we come back.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
Welcome back.
So welcome back to Real Talk viewers. Remember viewers, we are Real Talk Financing. We offer you loans, also fixed deposit. Presently in Trinidad and Tobago viewers, we have the highest interest rate that is being paid on our fixed deposit. That is 5% viewers per annum, 5% interest per year for those of you who don't understand. 5% interest per year on our fixed deposit. It's a 5-year contract, and within 14 days of signing your fixed deposit, my office will call you and you will come collect your interest up front. So if you invest 100,000 viewers, just saying a figure, if you invest $100,000 for 5 years, it's $25,000 interest you're going to be getting 45 years. How are you going to collect that interest, viewers? You don't have to wait for the 5 years to pass. 14 days from the time you sign up that contract at Real Talk Financing, we are going to call you within that 14 days to come and collect your interest. Your whole $25,000 up front. So you won't have to wonder, well, you know what? I wonder if I would live to collect this interest. I wonder if I could be able to survive. But you know what? We at Real Talk Financing, we have thought ahead of that. And we are the only one in Trinidad and Tobago doing it. Getting your interest up front. You are not getting a quarterly payment or a 1-year payment. No, you're giving your interest up front so you could go for a vacation. You could put away. You could pay for the child schooling. You could fix around your house in Trinidad and Tobago. You could travel anywhere. You don't have to wait for 5 years to finish. You don't have to wait for maturity date. You're getting the interest up front to enjoy the cash that you have worked hard for and put away. Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. Make 2026 an investing year for you. Make it. So, back into our news tonight. Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisasa addressed Tobago People's Party supporters in James Park on Thursday, as she vowed to work closely with the THA to achieve the long-awaited autonomy for the island.
We are to work very closely with Fali and his team so that we can begin that long-awaited process. Your speaker said it today, Fali, that the last time I was here, I was across there making a little speech. At the end of the speech, I said, I pray the anchor holds. Those are my last words. And the anchor did hold.
Tobago wants autonomy. Can they do it? Call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program as usual with a great soul. But I hope the Tobago House of Assembly, the leader and the members of the Assembly, do not turn out to be like the hooligans we have in Trinidad. Only lies, 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 and crime against the citizens. Anyway, Mr. Said, I want to talk about the biggest robbery that took place in this country last year over the Christmas period. The jewel store that was robbed at the Petit Cafe Junction. You know that the jewel store, you know the place and thing there, where over $300,000 worth of jewelry and jewel, gold, raw gold material was stolen and so on. It's 2 weeks before the Christmas. And on that particular day, well, there was monitor in the place, so they knew how the people come in and what time and so on.
Yes.
Anyway, they robbed the place, police was called, Princess Town Police. About half an hour, they arrived at the scene. So a report was made to them. They didn't take any statement or anything like that. No, they could have made an arrest. So they stayed there. So when we describe the people and so on, they're laughing. They were each other laughing with each other. Rather than make a turn, find out, because you have a camera right on the junction that is monitored at a location, a police station. So they could have got information what direction the car went in. They didn't do it. Anyway, and I telling them, I say, look, there's a camera there. I say, call, well, everybody should know taxpayers, but it is monitored at Barrackpore police station. So I say, call the station and see if they could get the information and so on. Anyway, they make a spin and they come back and so on. You know that was it. No follow-up, no
Nothing?
report. They call the owner of the jewel shop to give a statement, to take a statement from him. Nothing like that. So he decided to call the day before Oliers. So the Princeton station said, well, look, come tomorrow, Oliers Day. The girl, they said, let the girl, the victim who was there at the time that they tied up and so on, let she come. When the girl went to the station, they tell the girl, Passad was robbed. He was tied up, he was robbed, and they take everything from me and they beat him. Nobody get killed, nobody tied up and so on. And they say, we're going to make a cook, a corridor cook, to go with us. Telling the girl that, So I want the Prime Minister of this country, Kamala, if you want to fix crime, they're taking a bill to Parliament tomorrow. If you want to fix crime, you have to go with a bill to clean up the police service of the criminals, the hooligans and criminals in the police service, and you have to fire the commissioner of police and the other man, the boss. You have to fire them.
So, caller, hear this. Hear this.
Yes.
The police officers in the Protestant police station told the victim that they're going to make a corridor cook. She could go with them?
Yeah, she said, they tell her, let's go with them. And you know nothing happened up to this day.
Wow.
Yeah, very sad where we are. Yeah, Mr. Said, and they're not doing anything to clean up the hooligans in the police service. Look, I tell you, go ahead.
This is real madness, Floyd. This is madness.
I tell you, certainly.
My friend, thank you so much for highlighting this issue, and I hope some address comes to the victim and the owner of the place. I hope something come out of this. Wow, this is ridiculous. This is really sad. Thank you so much, my friend. Hey, Trinidad and Tobago, that's real madness, you know. You know the kind of shame Protestant police station going and get after this is being highlighted? Hey, wait, boy. I wonder what the superintendent of the district is going to do with these officers now. Is he going to transfer them somewhere down Shagarama's area or down Cedra's area? But that's madness. If a victim come in a station to do a follow-up report, you can't tell him you're going to make cook go with us. It shows, let me tell you something, that the highest order of disrespect. That is a victim. The reason why you are police officers is because you all vouch for that work. You all put yourself in that position to help people. I put myself in this position to come on TV Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. to highlight issues and to give solutions to problems. Not to say we go and Korea, Dokla, we go. Well, if that is true, them officers, let me tell you something, suspend them one time. Because you cannot tell a victim. The people lost almost $300,000 in gold, according to reports. And the police officer saying, like, go and Korea, dock that value $100. But all I need to be suspended. All I need to go to counseling. And when I mean suspended, suspend without pay. Because you put yourself to be a police officer to help people. That's the sad part about the Trinidad and Tobago. You volunteered for this. This is your job. This is your career. This is what you want to do. Hey, watch me. I wonder what the superintendent of the Southern District now is going to do with these officers on them. I would love to find out who is these officers on them. Trust me, I would love to find out who is that. But, this will continue. Nevertheless, I'll get some info on that. So, Trinidad and Tobago, back to Kamala and working with the THA. Meanwhile, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine said, divisions of legal affairs will be established in Tobago House of Assembly. Fali.
And one of the areas that we will be introducing is a new division for legal affairs and intergovernmental affairs, which will be equivalent to that of an Attorney General for the Tobago House of Assembly and the Tobago Island government.
I wonder if we could get the names of the officer from the Princess Song Station, boy. I wonder if we could get the names of the officers who made those statements. Suspension without pay. Trust me. You see, I'm going to tell you something. The Minister of National Security, we have two defense. We have Wayne Search and we have Alexander. Now, you need to put these men in a gear. Once you are caught in an act, an illegal act, when you get suspended, let me tell you something. What I need to do now, suspended without pay. That is what the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service should come up with now. To buckle up on the officers and them. Now, I'll tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago have some real hard-working officers, you know. Real hard-working officers, you know. Sunday to Sunday, they're working hard, you know. Just the better Trinidad and Tobago. And then we have now some duck cookers. Some duck cookers now who will tell victims that you go and bust a pot. Eh? Suspension without pay. You can't be telling a victim that. But anyhow, we go get some more information on that Trinidad and Tobago. I know people in Prontostown. So staying with Kamla now on the THA, Farley said, with more members in the THA, changes can now begin. Details regarding changes in the THA will be outlined in a press conference on Friday coming. Performance, and that is quick. Listen to this.
Formerly, we had the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment, and Sustainable Development. In Trinidad, that's about 3 different ministries. Health, Wellness, and Social Protection. In Trinidad, that's about 3 different ministries. At the Office of the Chief Secretary, we have Planning and Development. That's a separate ministry in Trinidad. We have Information Division. That's a separate ministry in Trinidad. We have Public Administration. That's a separate ministry in Trinidad. We treated national security issues, Tobago security issues. That's a separate ministry in Trinidad. So you see how we have been trying to cram 33 areas in the 5th schedule into a small number of divisions. This gives us some more flexibility, but it allows us for greater efficiency.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed. You're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? speak with a representative at our Central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our South branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you, for you, for you, for you.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, Attorney General John Jeremy has indicated that Parliament sitting will resume on Friday, where 3 major pieces of legislation will be tabled. These are the Tobago House of Assembly Amendment Bill, the Motor Vehicle Traffic Amendment Bill, and the Special Zone of Special Operation Act. Speaking on Wednesday at a UNC press briefing, he outlined the details of the Tobago House of Assembly Amendment Bill. Jeremy.
The Tobago House of Assembly Amendment is designed to create an increase in the number of secretaries and to increase the quorum for the conduct of business in the Assembly. It is a short piece of legislation. It will not take too much parliamentary time, and we trust that it will not prove to be controversial.
In terms of the Motor Vehicle Traffic Amendment Bill, the government has listened to the voice of the nation in community as it relates to increased traffic and road fines and penalties. The Attorney General assured citizens that the government's first priority is to restore discipline to the nation. Jeremy, one more time.
We have listened to voices, and what we propose to do in the amendment bill is to impose a system which requires constables to give a mandatory warning with respect to certain offenses. Now, that is not to say that we are abandoning in any way, in any shape or form, our resolve, but we will implement our resolve with the level of humane activity that this government is known for.
So Trinidad and Tobago, concerning the Motor Vehicle Amendment. First, now, before I go there, you know Trinidad and Tobago, this is the only platform that would raise that issue and debate it and make sure that there is change for the benefit of the citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. We don't look at no other country. I don't look at no other country. I'm living in Trinidad, and the people of Trinidad and Tobago should benefit. So listen to this. Number one, in December in your campaign, you spoke about one thing. You said the PNM is using fines as a revenue generation. Okay, good, you talk about it. When you won the 2026 general election on April 28, 9 months now in office, Eli Zukru said, we did not have enough information, or we didn't have preview to the informations. So after 9 months of having preview to the information, what you did is that you come and you raise the fines. So one, you lie to the nation. Two, you come and raise fine. You penalize the people and them. And now you put the cat in front of the horse. Many would vex for this. But the reality of the truth is what is hitting us. You lie for us. You wouldn't raise fine. That's number one. Number two, you come like a cat in the night, Christmas Day of December 2025, and drop it on social media. Number three, on the Facebook page saying no increase is another lie. Now, in January now, the 15th of January, after you penalize the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago from December 2025 to the, let me say, to the 10th of January, tickets sharing like rain. Traffic warden, police, license officers. Government don't want to hear nothing. Zucker said we will not privy to information. So when you won the election on April 28th to December 2025, you have 9 months of preview. You saw everything. And what you choose to do, increase the fine like a cat in the night. So the preview to the information you had for 9 months was to raise the fine for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to be penalized. No warning, no this, no that. You mention it in Parliament while I'm reading. You mention it. No debate. And boom. On the 9th of December, you mention it in Parliament. We played the clip. No, we didn't see a debate. You mentioned of it. No warning, no grace period. Boom, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago have to be penalized for it. Now you're coming to tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that we are going to get within 3 days to 7 days to fix the defect. I'm going to tell you something. You see when you hear minister lie to the nation, after that lie, they doesn't want to hear nothing again. Absolutely nothing. Look how much pressure the PNM see from the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And the PNM ministers did what they wanted to do. They didn't care about the citizen. They did what they wanted to do. And that is why on April 28th, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago decided to, you know what? Go for a change. And where them today? You can't even hear them now. Nobody wants to hear them. Tobago, THA election 15-0. Where the PNM? Nobody wants to hear the lies of the PNM anymore. Who make money, who make money, make money. Shamfa is Shamfa. Nobody lives there. Well, now everybody living in Tobago, 50 to 70,000 people don't want to hear about Shamfa again. Imagine that. So Eli, you know, start. And all let's start with a lie to the citizen. I'm going to tell you something. All I could do is bring the truth to the citizen, you know. It's them to take it from there. But nevertheless, when you start with a lie, you end with a lie. And in between, nobody wants to hear you. Nobody wants to hear you. So now, Trinidad and Tobago, with respect to a special zone of Special Operation Act, this is what AG Jeremy had to say.
What we discovered was that there were tangential benefits to disrupting the lines of communication that existed between gang leaders who were incarcerated and their soldiers who were outside of the prison system. We intend to lock in those advantages which have yielded tremendous results in terms of the drop in homicides, the drop in woundings, and the drop in violent crime generally. And our first attempt to do that would be with respect to the zones legislation.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the zones now, when the SOE comes to an end, month, and I believe, the special zone of Special Operation Act is that they want to start locking down hotspots. So I am saying, not only the hotspots, Not only the hotspots alone. Because if you lock down the hotspot, another area will start coming up. Because when you lock down here, here will be bubbling. And eventually here will get cold and here will be hot. So what we need to do now, we need something just like the SOE. That's what we need. Something that would keep bandits intact. I always say Trinidad and Tobago, the only way to fix crime in the community. We ain't talking about the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. We're talking about let's start with the community. Let the police in the community start controlling the community to be safe. That is what we need. And if that station ain't doing it, go to the senior in the district. In the east, in the west, in the north, in the south. Ask to talk to the senior, because the senior in our district is responsible for the station. And if he ain't doing anything, make a complaint PSB, and we're good to go. Let PSB investigate it. It's simple. Let me tell you something. 1.4 million people. And you could tell me we are the 6th highest in the world of criminal activity with 1.4 million people. Nah, man. Which means somebody ain't doing their job. Somebody ain't doing their job and they're collecting money. For what? A non-performance of their job. It's sad, ain't it? The roads of Trinidad and Tobago. We would blame Rohan Sinanan because he was there for 9 years and absolutely did nothing. Trinidad and Tobago, look at this. We have down by the creek. I go down there, that's La Romaine. Down by the creek. Mosquito Creek going down there, right? Look at that piece of road down there. Let me tell you something. Maybe about 5 years now they're trying to fix that road. In Guyana, they built a bridge over the Demerara River. The Chinese took about 3 years to build that bridge. If I think a lie, Google Guyana. Google the Demerara Bridge. And you all will see how beautiful the structure is. They built it over the river in 3 years. And it's more than 3 years now they're trying to fix a piece of road down by the Mosquito Creek. So imagine that. Imagine that Trinidad and Tobago, how lackadaisical we are. Imagine that. It's sad, you know. It's really sad. And it sucks to know that contractors in our country are collecting millions of dollars to do contracts. They have project management, they have assistant management, they have quality control, and yet we had the most dumbest, stinkiest, bad road in the whole of the Caribbean. I could tell you that on national television. Why am I saying that? Because I travel to the Caribbeans. And I see the roads. Hence the reason why I could say in Trinidad, we have the worst set of road. Outside, how you could say that? But it's true. It's true. Who's to blame for that? I will start by the Minister of Works and Transport. And then he will go down to his project management. And then the project management will go down to the overseers. And from the overseers now, it will go down to quality control. And from quality control now, you will go to the contractors. And let me tell you something. Everybody I close, come in to quality of work. Who I close their eye on their head. That's what I say in November 2025. Those persons who are supposed to be responsible to make sure we have proper roads, and you turn your head, let me tell you something, you should have got a damn stroke on your head, stay right there. I'm telling you on national television. You know why? All they have no damn shame. You know why? This is the same road all are running on every single day. husband driving car, the wife driving car, the children driving car, the mother driving car, the grandfather driving car, on the same piece of road that you had a job to make sure it was done. So what all I did, all I put you on the map now for the worst set of road in Trinidad, in the Caribbean. I telling all you that. Nine years up the road, not a proper road in Trinidad and Tobago after Rohan Sinan was there. Billions spent. It's sad, you know. It's sad. And we proud to say we fix our road down in Point. We fix our road in Sando. We fix our road in Shogunas. We fix one up in the east. Imagine on the highway you're bending a rim and busting a tire. On the highway in Trinidad and Tobago. How does that sound now to the other Caribbean countries who listening and reading about Trinidad and Tobago? I bust a rim from my Range Rover on the highway from Shogunas to San Fernando. I bust a rim. Imagine that, eh? It's sad. But nevertheless, switching gears. Cabinet has approved the UNC Manifesto 2025 as official government policies. Speaking at a press conference on Wednesday, Minister of Land and Legal Affairs Saddam Hussein said they will now be taking a multi-faced approach to governance to review the countries from the corruption under the former PNM regime. Listen to this.
They have left Trinidad and Tobago in a complete mess. In the last 8 or 9 months or so, we have been tasked with the job, which we are not complaining of, but we are fixing Trinidad and Tobago to ensure that we have a place where it is safe for each and every citizen to reside and live in.
Now, viewers, Saddam Hussein, thus far, has been bringing out a lot of documents stating that there are corruption, there were corruption, this money missing, that money missing, which company involved. But the thing is, are we getting back any of this money that went under the Corruption Act? Are we getting, is Trinidad and Tobago getting back any of those tax-paying money that was spent on the corruption, as they say? When the PNM was in power, they said that the UNC 2010 to 2015, there were a lot of corruption, but we saw no changes. We saw nobody held for it. And then the sad part about it, our tax-paying dollars are being spent with no accountability. Said, how you could use a statement that has no accountability? Auditor General, Jawanti Ramdas. To this day, she is still waiting on documents to show where money was spent under the PNM administration. What I am waiting to hear Trinidad and Tobago is Terence Dial Singh come out and give a statement to the public concerning the $80 million of expired drugs. This is what I am waiting to hear. This is what I am waiting to hear. And I would like Tim Gopi Singh to press on that matter so Trinidad and Tobago citizens will know why $80 million worth of drugs expired while the citizens could not get drugs. I am waiting for that. I am waiting for that. And I hope Saddam Hussein, who is the legal minister, could look into it also. Bring it into the public domain. This is what we want to know. You go tell me when you go in the hospital, all again is Panadol, 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 Panadol. My heart hurting, take 2 Panadol. My teeth hurting, take 2 Panadol. Doctor, you know I fall long this up and I damage money, take 2 Panadol. And $80 million in drugs expired. So I hope Tim Gopi Singh would press forward, and in the coming days, I hope we hear something from that. That is what we want to press forward with. Trinidad and Tobago is really sad, you know, really, really sad, you know. Now, outlining successful initiative under national security, the country reaped substantial benefit from ongoing state of emergency according to the numbers. 2025 saw a 42% drop in the number of murder rate compared to 2024 when the previous PNM administration was in governance.
In 2024, we reported 626 murders in 2024. Never forget that. That was the bloodiest year in our nation's history. And just us taking office 1 year later, on the 28th of April, not even a full year, we were able to report successfully that the murder rate was 369 instead of crossing 600.
Keep in mind, Fitzgerald Hines said it is not his job to make our country feel safe. Let's hope it is Wayne Sturt's job. Let's hope it is Roger Alexander's job to make sure we as a nation are safe. And I hope those 2 fellas ain't say like Fitzgerald Hines. That's not my job, you know. Trust me. They're going to like it on TV. They're going to like it. Now, according to data, the majority contributing factor towards homicide was due to gang-related activities. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, again, I would say, every single minister, every police, every politician knows how many gangs there are in Trinidad. They know the gang name, they know the individual in the gang, they know where the gang members live in. And today, we still have gangs in Trinidad and Tobago. It's sad, you know. From Forest days straight up to now, 2026. We have a new Attorney General. And everybody knows everything, but are they fixing the problem? Are they fixing the problem? Is the gang being dismantled? Listen to this.
In the year 2020, there were 130 gang-related murders. In the year 2021, there were 189 gang-related murders. Keep going up. In the year 2022, 244 gang-related murders. 2023, 261 gang-related murders. 2024, 273 gang-related murders. 2025, with a new UNC government, it went down to 108 gang-related murders.
And all the gangs still exist. That is the problem. The gangs still exist. So when we want a better Trinidad and Tobago, when we want to hear about this wasn't a gang-related matter, how do we deal with that? How do we deal with the gangs? Wayne Sturt was a professional lawyer. Roger Alexander became a superintendent of police. Both individuals knew of all the gangs. What about the truce? What about the peace treaty? Is it working in Trinidad? Somebody will say, Saieed, be careful, they come at you. Me? You're welcome to come anytime. But just know who you're coming at. I am not a gang member. I am not a police. I am not an informant. I am a man in Trinidad and Tobago that does spiritual work. That is what I do. That is what I do, spiritual work. Trinidad and Tobago, we have come to the end of our program tonight. But nevertheless, we'll be live next day. Until then, good night.